Welcome back to the Jesse Rucinski show. Sorry for the strange look on my face if you're watching this, because they made me have to get live capabilities or I wasn't going to be able to do shows with anyone else. So, and then they've already again updated stuff and changed it since the show I did this morning with Walter for the racing show. And yeah, I'm trying to figure it all out as we go, because heaven forbid they could just leave it alone. It was easy enough. What? Record. That easy. Of course, they had to make it difficult. Why wouldn't they make it difficult? But thank you for joining. I'm happy you're here. Hopefully you had a good week. Hopefully you enjoyed the Wednesdays with Walter on all that, tax stuff that we went over. Hurt my head, but it was worth it. And we're not done yet. We'll get back to that, a couple of weeks. And we got other fish to fry in the meantime. Information that's come out about all kinds of things. So stay tuned. Make sure you are ready for Wednesdays, because those are normally really good. And again, there's vaccine stuff that's come out, the Supreme Court stuff. I mean, there's so much. We're about to get more border numbers. Like there's lots of stuff coming out. So there's a lot of stuff to go over in the coming weeks. So make sure you check out Wednesdays with Walter. Yes, I know they're a little long sometimes, but we really do put hours and hours into just getting ready for that show and going over stuff. So we appreciate all the support on it. But now to today, again, a lot of stuff has come out. Like I said, I'm not getting into any of the big numbers, saving those for a Wednesday just because there's a lot of numbers. But the Pfizer stuff finally being released. It's been coming out now, and they tried to get over 75 years, and they got told no, it's going to be over 8 months, and we can all see why. If you actually try to read any of it, granted, they released 10,000 pages, I think, this month. So there's a lot to go through. And I don't blame most people for not wanting to go through that much. But there is a lot of that. I'm just going to touch on a bit of it today. The Supreme Court leak, put some air quotes around that, for the Roe versus Wade, and the response from the administration and people at large, which has just been full-fledged psychosis. And you can tell that no one even actually read the thing. It's only 98 pages. I mean, so it could be a lot worse, but it's not that long. And the ruling was really easy, and they're not even outlawing it. But again, why the hell would anyone read anything and ruin a good psychotic break? And then, the response to it, though, has been the sickening part, just seeing how crazy everyone is like that. Hurts my head more than anything, because all you have to do is read it. And right up front, it explains why the decision was made, and nothing's banned. But again, get to that a little bit, just to the reaction of that. We're going to go over the actual whole entire 98-page document next week, I do believe. And there's it's very articulate and very nicely written. And they break it down very easy. And how they broke it down, I agree with what they said, because they were onto something there. It's just how people freak out, I'll never know. But on to Pfizer. I said they tried to do it for 75 years. I'm like, that's great. Literally everyone that had anything to do with this will pretty much be dead by the time they actually tell everyone. I think that's cute. That was glorious and telling. I mentioned it was telling before. No, they weren't really big fans of me saying that on some platforms, but screw them. No one likes me. I'm used to it. I'm pretty much in that side of the world. Nobody likes me, but that's okay, because I don't like y'all anyway. Give credit to 50 Cent for that one. But 8 months from the 75 years they tried, in the reaction, and and I don't mean from people, I mean people's adverse reactions to the Pfizer vaccine is terrifying. You see how many people, hundreds of people, suddenly started having adverse heart problems or higher blood pressure and all kinds of stuff from getting the shot that they never had before. And guess what? It's real fact now. The report is out there. So you could try to get before their YouTube, but it's not going to work because it's actual fact from the actual company. I just happen to be reading it. I know most of the people that are doing all the blocking on there. probably don't, but I know how to read as hard as it is to believe. And the lack of testing, with like pregnant women and effects on that, and like where they said the efficacy levels were compared to where they actually are, is like mind-boggling, especially after just a short amount of days. And the amount of people that just kept pushing it and are still pushing it, even with this stuff out, which shows all this. And really, I mean, biggest thing I see is, and people that are yelling, tax the rich and are freaking out about that we went over the other day, are also a lot. They have people that are pushing for everyone to get vaccinated, and that you're this, that, and the other thing if you don't get vaccinated, right? And did you see the profit margins on some of these people? Like the profit margins for some of these companies, making what, like they're up 7.5 billion just in Q1. I mean, it worked pushing it because the government, with money that we don't have, we'll just say your tax dollars, like they're paying all these companies all that might have pushed these things down there, even though I'm sure everyone knew these numbers. They just didn't report it to the people, and it made people very, very, very rich, which is like, that's all that was accomplished with this. And again, I'm not saying it was all bad, but if you actually look at the efficacy numbers and the stuff they're releasing, like it contradicts everything that they've been saying for forever. And then to think people got, the shot just to keep their job in some instances, and, are forced to take it so they could still make a living. You can't go certain places, like all of that, for them to get something, and the efficacy level of it and all the problems that there were that they didn't tell anyone about is just astounding. And, I'm glad they told them to release it all. It's going to be 75 years. It's going to be 8 months. And, hopefully everyone reads it. Most people don't. They just say we're all crazy and this is all we know. And there's no proof. Like, well, it's coming directly from the manufacturer of it. So you can call us crazy, but you're actually crazy for not actually wanting to read it and not believing anything from it, even though you believe it. It's just one of those, we're just in a screwed up world. I hope everyone looks at it. It's completely just bonkers. Like the numbers that are out there. Again, me and Walter, we're going to go over them. There's a lot of pages, but we're going to go through it and make sure we get everything for you guys. So that way, you can have like a fair thing. And again, there's some people that, felt they needed it, like whatever case may be, if you got it or not. Like we should have known these real actual numbers, and actually been an informed public about it is all I'm gonna say for now, so I don't get in that much trouble. But really, the only thing that happened was a lot of people got jabs, a lot of people got problems from it, and a lot of people got filthy rich in the process from just getting all that money hand over fist, buying all these doses of everything. And like, just look at the report. That's all I ask. If you need it, please reach out. I can send you the link. There's a lot of stuff to go through just to get to the pages with stuff. And there's a lot of reading, but I can send you the link. You can go to it and you can read it all and see for yourself. But yeah, some scary stuff in there that we will get to, just like the Supreme Court leak, which we will get to. If you want to call it a leak, it seems like convenient timing with everything going so horrifically, bad, going the way it has been, many different things, that this leak happens, and now that's all anyone's talking about. Like, just convenient timing to have, a leak. But regardless, I mean, having a leak at the Supreme Court, which is the highest court in the land, so people could see that, what's going to happen, and all hell could break loose before they actually put out their official thing, which could change everything. Them freaking out. It's really disgusting. And again, the timing, and then Jen Psaki and Joe Biden, his response, and they didn't even mention the leak or anything. Like they really didn't. They didn't mention it all. They didn't care at all. When she was asked, his comment on it, when the answer was useless as well, and he goes after Trump supporters, like that's where the most extreme things. That like, no, we're not. And there's people on the left's response to the Supreme Court's ruling, the leak on the alleged ruling, was, to go out and like they're putting out the conservative justices' addresses where they and their families live for people to go and get them at home and do all kinds of stupid stuff. They're fencing around the Supreme Court. We saw Liz Warren absolutely losing her mind and saying much worse things than Trump got impeached for. And she's still out there, and you still see the video everywhere, absolutely losing it. Like, absolutely, unequivocally, bonkers, out of her mind. And Joy Behar's losing her mind. Whoopi's losing her mind. Like, all these people are, their heads are exploding, and all hell is breaking loose. And it doesn't even like ban abortions. It sends it back to the states. Like most things are supposed to be run by each state individually, not the Fed, because the word isn't in the Constitution at all. Which so it shouldn't really been a Supreme Court thing anyway, because how things uphold to the Constitution. Like, that's all they did. Sorry. And to see the response, like in the Twitterverse, like of people like literally were arguing with me, this one person, because they said that Kamala should tell the president to torch the filibuster so they could pack the court so that nothing like this can ever happen again. And like, easy, fella, like, how about we don't blow up the whole thing? Because that is not how you respond to this. And then I got my head blown off because apparently fella makes, calling someone like misogynistic, misgendering, this, that, and the other thing. Like, it's nicer than the things that are coming to my mind, at least, because torching it. Like, so you people, and I mean, everyone on the left, from politicians, media, there's people, their voting base, all of that, the Drews of the world, that for years were calling President Trump a dictator and a fascist and everything else that you were. And you could try to deny it. Won't work. If they were doing all of that for that long, calling him everything under the sun, right? Your response is, calling, to this is, after calling it and DeSantis recently, and everyone really, like fascist, racist, communist dictators, like your response to that is to torch the filibuster, pack the court so that it could be one party rule and you get everything you want and damn the other side. Like, that's actually a fascist dictatorship for anyone over there that doesn't understand. Like, that's actually how you make a fascist dictatorship, authoritarian rule. That would be creating one. And instead of going, no, they just explode and start calling every name in the book because you used the word fella. It's like, if thought happened before they opened their mouths, I think it'll be a lot easier for all of us, really. I mean, I have no problem with someone blowing my head off, and arguing with me like they did another guy, just yelling at again, telling you, was losing it, saying that we were, and at the same time saying that, we're dumb and we all have the same things. I said, I actually read the bill and researched the thing, and it went straight to, of course, I need to turn off Fox News and Newsmax. And I'm like, well, I don't do that. I read the bills. And I bet your research is YouTube and Facebook for your research. Do you got do you actually have a point? Well, because that's like the equivalent of me saying you get all your information off of the mainstream media and Wikipedia. Except I'm not going to go there, even though a lot of them do get all their stuff from the media. But why can't they just have? They say they can have a conversation, but yet they're there biting my head off, because I'm like, no, really, there's proof of this stuff, and they just bite your head off. Like, that's all they know how to do. But again, they're freaking out, and their response is just exactly what you'd think of and what you'd expect from them. Liz Warren losing her mind, Joy Behar, Whoopi, like the whole cast and crew, and Joe Biden not even treating the leak like it was even a thing, and the way Jen Psaki talked about it and said going after Trump supporters, like, that's actually what we expect. I'm not even going to say sorry, not sorry. I'm nowhere near. That's exactly what we all expect you to do. So thank you for doing that for us. And, how about we do the crazy thing and just read the bill? Read the thing, read what was leaked. It's not like, I think 98 pages. It's not that bad. Like, read it, see what it actually says. Be educated, be informed. Make a world of difference in your head instead of just acting like a 3-year-old who got told he can't have the toy at Walmart that just throws a hissy fit. Like, that's pretty much all these people are, is grown up, 3-year-olds. And also read the numbers on, the Pfizer stuff, because the numbers on that are freaky too. And the fact that they're still pushing it, even with that out, shows you that they actually are crazy. And they keep telling us that we're crazy, even though it's right there. Like, can't make up this level of insanity. And also, President Biden, please, for the love of God, when you're sitting there doing a picture with, the Paralympics, why say don't jump? They're in wheelchairs, dude. Like, don't jump. Like, I'm sorry. Even I don't make jokes about little people, kids and all that, people in wheelchairs telling them not to jump. Like, you could hear the in the crowd, like there's something wrong with you if you actually found that to be anything more than him just being exactly what, I say he is. But that I'm jumping off, not as in don't jump, like as I'm actually going to get off of here. And, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you, everyone on Good Pods. I appreciate it. And again, if you ever feel like you're missing anything, please follow along on the Facebook page. It's under the same name. Videos are on YouTube, Rumble, CloudHub. Put the links, to the audio on the Twitterverse world, but audio goes, Apple and Google Podcast, Spotify, Anchor, Breaker, Stitcher, TuneIn, Reason, Good Pods, iHeartRadio, Radio Public Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, like I think it's on Audible too. I haven't checked in a while, but it's supposed to be on Audible. Like, it's all over the place. So please make sure you listen to it. And I greatly appreciate, all of you. Let me know if you ever want to come on here. Let me know what you think about this in the comments. And please, share it out, because, it saves us from having to give money to, Facebook or any of them for advertising, because really they don't need any more money. They can keep going just broke, and I'll be okay with it. So enjoy your weekend. Be good to everybody. I'll be back next week with a full array of shows over all kinds of good stuff. Make sure you're ready for the Wednesday one, because that's going to be great. So enjoy your weekend. Be good to each other, and peace.